Hey there, it's Amelia bringing you another Microsoft Word video. In this video, you'll learn how to insert different headers and footers in your document. Let's get started. I have a sample document open so that I can show you a document that has headers and footers in there already. And let me do this. Let me go ahead and double click at the top of the document so that the header and footer area opens up, and the ribbon bar now shows the options for the header and footer. So when you place a header or footer in a Word document, by default, the header or footer is applied to the entire document. One exception is if you click on either the different first page or different odd and even pages. Different first page allows you to create a unique header and footer on page 1. Now that's how this document is. If I scroll down, you'll see that there is an existing footer on page 1 that is unique to page 1. If I scroll down, you'll see that there's a header on page 2 that carries over onto the other pages. Now there's a, let me just click close header and footer just for a moment so that you could see. Okay, so starting on page 2, there's a header here that has a placeholder form field in the header, and that's how there's unique text on each page in the header. But basically it is a standard header that's been created to continue on all the other pages, as you can see. Now there's also a page number on the far left. So basically, this sample document shows you one easy way to have a unique footer or header on the first page would be to check the box different first page. Now, different odd and even pages, if that's checked, that would allow you to create one header or footer for all even pages and a second header and or footer for all odd pages. If you need even more unique headers and footers on different pages, you can insert section breaks. This will allow you to create a different header and or footer for each section, and that's what I'm going to show you next. So I went ahead and opened up a brand new blank document, and to access the header area, I'm going to double click right here at the top, and that will open up the header as well as the footer area. And now I want to insert something in the header area, and I'm just going to enter in some placeholder text. I'm going to call this header number 1. Now I'll double click in the body of the page to return back to page 1. Now at this point you would enter in any information that you want to enter on page 1. I'm just going to put in placeholder text for now, and let's say that's everything that we want to enter in on page 1. I want to insert a page break at this point, and I'm going to press Control Enter. And by the way, you can also insert a page break via the ribbon by clicking Insert Page Break, but I just find it easier to press Control Enter. Now we have 2 pages with the same header. As you can see, this is page 1. It says header 1 in the header area, and now if I scroll down, now you can see that I'm on page 2 if I look down here, and I have the same header. Now I'm just going to press enter a couple times. At this point I want to press Control Enter and insert yet another page break. Now we have 3 pages with the same header. On page 3, which I'm at now, I'll type, "This is the first section." And the reason why I just typed that in there is because starting on the next page, which will now be a new section, I want to create a different header, and I want to be able to tell where I am in the different parts of the document. So now on page 3, I want to insert what's called a section break. The way I would do that is by clicking on in the ribbon in Layout, then directly under Layout where it says Breaks, click on the drop-down menu and select next page. Now, if you're like me and you like to see the hidden codes in Word that shows you things like hard returns, page breaks, and section breaks, you can turn on the Show Hide if you go to the Home tab and click here. And I love the Show Hide because I usually like to use it to see, where I have hit enter and etc., etc. Now, notice on page 3, this is where I inserted the section break, and this is what it looks like if you turn on the Show Hide. Normally, if you just insert a page break, this is what a page break would look like in Show Hide. But on page 3, I inserted a section break, and I selected section break next page because after I insert the section break, I wanted to start a new page. So now on page 4, I have the same header as earlier pages, at least for now, until I change it. I want to double click in the header area, and now notice that same as previous is on the far right. The same header will carry over into new sections unless you do one more step. On the ribbon, we want to click on Link to Previous, which is located right here, to toggle that feature off. Turning this feature off will allow you to create a different header or footer for the new current section. So again, I'm still on page 4, and this is my new section, and I want to change the header, and I'm just going to change it to header number 2 for the new section. And then I'm going to double click in the body and just make a notation that this is the second section, just as placeholder so I can tell where I am. So now let's recap and see what it all looks like. So if I go back to the top of my document, I have a header. It's called header 1, and it will carry over, as you can see, on page 2 and on page 3. But then on page 3, I've inserted a section break. And then on page 4, I've changed my header, which is now unique to the new second section in my document. That's all there is to it. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video and found it helpful. If you like this video, please click like. If you like my channel, please click subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.